want to make sure that I acknowledge the sponsor of the show, Tiege Hanley, because Tiege Hanley sent me this new pack. They sent me the new Tiege pack, so I just literally pulled the paper out, got it out of the mail, and I started going through it, and I got a little bit more excited than I should. You know what I'm saying? So they did send me the Tiege pack, and I don't even know what this is yet. So I'm assuming this is what you get when you first order your Tiege, and I don't know what this is. Oh, this is dope. This is absolutely dope. Is this a nail kit? Ladies, get this for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. This is free. This just comes with it. 30% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Literally. Oh, snaps. I didn't know that they were sending it like this. Real talk. So this is the nail kit that they sending you. All right. So now you ain't looking like a dusty. This is a free gift straight from Tiege for the people that ordered the Tiege. They got the small one for the little hands like mine's. They got the big joints for your toenails. And then they got the joints at the bottom too. You know what I'm saying? For y'all that's a little bit more crustier than usual. All right. So that's one of the free gifts that Tiege got inside of the pack. And then what is this? Says squeeze a quarter size amount of Tiege Hanley body wash on the center of the wet bristles. Lather, scrub, rinse, and repeat for the perfectly satisfying wash every time. So that's inside of there also, right? Ooh, I can get my rubber ducky on right here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiege for sending me that uncomplicated skincare for men. And then what we got in here? We got the actual Tiege pack, right? So this is the normal Tiege pack, but then they gave me the supersized joint for the people. They wanted me to show the people exactly what they got when they ordered that first Tiege pack, when you're getting your 30% off your first order, and then you get your free gifts. You get 2 free gifts, and then the 20% off for life. So the 20% off for life is a new thing. And man, I ain't even got my keys on me to open this up. Maybe I can use the little nail clipper thing. I ain't got to buy no nail clipper for my new joint downtown. And then you get all of the washes, all of the scrubs, all of the AM, the PMs, and all of that stuff. So you got the whole thing inside of there for you to make sure you take care of yourself. But you got to make sure you take care of it every day, right? We don't want to miss days. We don't want to be looking like dusties. It does not absolve you from being able to make sure that you brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. It don't fix the teeth problem. Don't fix you ironing your clothes. Don't fix you being able to take care of your business. But it absolutely makes sure that your skin is phenomenal, even when you go in between shaves. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiege Hanley. We absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to hold us down. I might do an official Tiege commercial, but I like just talking authentically to the people. I like giving the people the authentic look of what it is that you're dealing with, and I want you to hear from me personally, because anybody can do that little pitch and they can make some little videos, but very few of us can actually speak to the products of exactly what it is that you're supposed to use. So yeah, Tiege Hanley, 30% off your first order, and then 20% off for life. That's the Anton Daniels pack, 20% off for life. Using any other Tiege pack, make sure that you go ahead and let that go. And make sure you tap into the link that's in the description and take care of it, all right? What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels, and it is Saturday, June 22nd, 2024, year of our Lord, and I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. We've been doing a lot more Saturday shows. I think we up to like 2 or 3 this year. We've been doing some Saturday shows, and that's just because, you know, inconvenience of traveling and stuff like that. So we had a travel day on Wednesday. And then I'm out here in Mexico. So because we don't really miss, right? Technically we don't miss. I got to make sure that I add value into y'all life. And I want to make sure that I get y'all morning started off, or in this case, afternoon, because we usually do the morning show early in the morning now. And that has been a great decision and transition. And then on Saturday, I wanted y'all to be able to sleep in, because I know a lot of y'all tapped into after hours and y'all seen the show with Mika, and then I tapped in and 2K and all of my friends. And so everything is great. Everything is absolutely awesome. every year I think that I'm going to have an epiphany, and I think that I'm going to do things differently than what I really do. But I realize that no matter what's going on in my life, whether I'm successful or I'm not successful, or I'm doing really great and I'm happy, or I'm frustrated with things going on, my go to was always to work. And I think that that's going to be the theme in the second half of the show because, we got to get to understanding what's going on out in these streets. I think that that's the theme in the second half of the show is just that what is your personality, and do we try to run from it and change it, and improve on it or evolve with it? Or do we kind of just lean into who we are and become more of it? You know what I'm saying? Do we develop good habits? Do we develop interesting habits and then we just get set in our ways? Um, or do we make adjustments and move differently? I realize that my superpower is my work ethic, and that's what I love to do. I genuinely love to do it. When I'm having problems, I work. When I'm having successes, I want to work more. And so that's my celebration. I don't know why I'm that way. I don't know why I've always been that way in my life. I think that I've trained myself to be that way. Part of it just comes with, I always just want to be productive. And so no matter what, no matter where I am, I'm always going to work. It's just weird. It's an interesting dynamic. And then I see women online a lot of times, and I think that this is more of a conversation for the Anton Daniels channel, but since we're talking about money, it's a general principle and concept. I see women online a lot of times, and even on a panel last night, we delved into multiple different subjects, and I see a lot of women that's on Instagram and stuff, and they keep talking about the type of guy that they want. You don't want this life. I think that women they want the results, and so they unwilling to walk away from the results because they know that on the flip side it's gonna be dusty out there and it's hard as hell, and you having to work your 8, 10, 12 hours in order for you to survive and you still ain't got enough is one thing. But then at the same time, I'm not really sure that they built for this life. I mean, I think that they see all of the glitz and the glam and the water and all of this stuff and the lifestyle and the cars and stuff. But I don't think that most women, when I'm watching all of these women online, I don't think that they would be appreciative of it. I think that they would be appreciative of it in the beginning. And I also think that that's why a lot of guys wind up rotating women out because once they get complacent and once they get a certain way in which they think something, at some point they develop an expectation and they want to change that guy, but that guy is the same guy that he's always been. He's not going largely change for you because that is the thing that ultimately put him in a position in the first place. And I think it even becomes a lot more difficult for guys that's already built and then they got women coming into their lives later. So it's just interesting. It's just something that I observed. I think that when you out of town and you on vacation and you outside of your element and you start to really pay attention to the things that's happening on social media and on the internet and even on coaching calls, you realize, you start to have a little bit more of context and an epiphany. And I think that ultimately, I don't think that most women, let me say this, most women just need guys that's in the middle. That's my revelation. They need a regular guy that goes to work. He's not a bum. He's not lazy. He takes care of his business. He's consistent going to work. He contributes into his 401k. Y'all can take a vacation once or twice every other year or something like that. And she may complain a little bit because that's just what women do. But I think that most women need to be humbled, and they just need to be with a regular guy. Honestly, because if the guy is too bummy and he trash, she gonna complain on that end. And if the guy is super successful, she gonna be complaining on the other end because she's gonna feel entitled. And then she's gonna say what requirement does she have of him, whether it be of his time or something like that. So either way, the guy that's all the way on the left he's gonna catch hell, and the guy that's all the way on the right, he's gonna catch hell. But then the guy that's in the middle, I think that that's what most women need to be. Most women are going to say what they want on this side, or they're going to say what they don't want on that side. So every woman thinks that they want that great guy, but I think that most women just need to be with a regular guy. That's my observation of what I've been seeing. Anyways, neither here nor there. I mean, honestly, I see y'all saying yup, facts and all of that. Um, K Cooper says if you want the man, you will adjust to his schedule. No, you won't. You'll adjust temporarily and then you'll complain about it. Absolutely 100%. Shout out to Les. Shout out to Jay Hunter Lee. I'm definitely going to be rocking out with y'all. Y'all need some regular dudes. You don't need to be a dude that's high powered. I know you don't want the guy that's just sleeping on your couch and he a homosexual and you got to take care of him. But I think that most of y'all, honestly, you just need a normal guy. Maybe a little bit more productive, maybe a little bit less productive. You gonna complain either way it goes. But I think that most women just need a regular guy. Honest to God. It's y'all not built for what y'all think that y'all want at all. Let me read a couple of the super chats and then we're gonna get started with the show. Shout out to Chase Barnes. I appreciate you. Says happy Saturday, AD and peeps. Let's go Celtics. Yeah, Celtics is that deal. Celtics is the deal. Jay Hunter Lee is in the building. Says, brother AD, been a minute. Always good catching you live. I've just been busy with my healthcare company making sure we stay in compliance with the state, but I have been catching your replays. Shout out to you, Jay Hunter Lee. You know you my guy. You always gonna be my dog. Thank you, my friend. And then Les is in the building. Says, I'm on a road trucking right now. Thank you. Absolutely, my friend. Hopefully I can keep you entertained for the next hour and a half or so. Because I don't want to do it too long of a show, but we definitely want to get to the money and we want to get to the reactions. True Bitnez says, always lean in, lead hard, lean further, lean in with purpose. Or you can lean back. Lean back. Shout out to my dog, True Bitnez. In the building, I appreciate you, big dog. All right. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all ready to get started with the show? Mr. Lot said, adjust to my schedule. Classy Beat says, good to see y'all. Hot, sicker than your average. Social media is to blame. No, I think that that's the nature of women. Women are gonna complain no matter what. They absolutely gonna complain, and they may even preface it by saying, I think that you're a good person or you're a great father and all of that. But then they're gonna throw the complaint after it. It's always a but in there. Anyways, let's continue. What do we got going on today? All right, so we're gonna start off with quick hits. Quick hits is a segment of the show that we don't think that we necessarily have to dedicate every single talking point or an entire segment to it, but we definitely want to keep you guys up in the loop. So we just gonna spend 10 minutes on quick hits. Let's get it popping. First and foremost, first and foremost, couple different arrests. I actually did a video of this a while back. So these people been on a run for a while. But anyway, it's been a couple different arrests on people that skipped out on a $500 bill. Take a look.
We have an update on a story Fox 5 first brought you about a Coweta County mother accused of making her 8-year-old daughter steal a purse from a busy restaurant.
Fox 5's Doug Evans reports there has been a second arrest in the case.
Union police say it was a Fox 5 viewer that helped them identify Kenya Butler of Union City. She's the mother who's accused of encouraging her then 7-year-old daughter to steal a purse from a busy restaurant in Noonan. There was a second individual they say they wanted to arrest. The man they say skipped out on paying the group's $500 tab at the Juicy Crab restaurant. Noonan police say they've now arrested him, thanks to evidence they say he left behind at the restaurant.
Keyshawn was apparently supposed to pay the bill for the meal for I think it was 5 adults and like 8 kids.
Wait. Because, I'm looking at this and I'm reacting to it. Most of the videos, I would say 95% of the videos that we break down, we ultimately react to it. And I'm looking at it for the first time, just like you guys. And I'm going to read y'all super chat shortly. Thank y'all. But wait a minute. Is it because he's a man? Because there was a whole bunch of them. And then the woman is the one that encouraged her kid to steal the purse, which she apparently got arrested. And then I agree that if he didn't pay his portion of the bill, he should have got arrested. But it was a whole table and they ordered over $500 worth of food. So why is he the one that is supposed to pay the bill? Did he agree to go out there and pay all of their bill? I'm confused. Hold on. So you telling me that he was the one that was supposed to pay the bill, and so he was the one that wound up getting arrested? What about all of the rest of them scallywags that was there? Hold on, let me see something real quick. Let me just rewind it a bit.
behind at the restaurant.
Keyshawn was apparently supposed to pay the bill for the meal for
According to who?
I think it was 5 adults and like 8 kids.
Was they all his baby mamas or something? No. We gonna have to spread these charges around, unless he just the one that's taking the L for everybody because he don't want everybody to catch something on their record or something like that. But nah, fam, listen, that's when I go in. We gonna listen. I want to be on my own bill. We not gonna put it on one bill. We not gonna split it. We not gonna do none of that. I'm here on my own reconnaissance. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get my own table. I got my own booth where I'm gonna sit at the bar, and I'm gonna pay my own bill. And I'm not gonna be responsible for everybody else that's sitting around here. We not doing that today.
Handed the server
That's how you lose friendships.
a card. It ended up being a Cash App card with his name on it, and the card didn't go through. When the server came back, he had already left.
Police say they tracked Keyshawn Butler to the card they say he left behind at the restaurant. They charged him with theft of services. Police say he's the brother of Kenya Butler. Police say she's seen on surveillance footage leading her child to an empty booth.
Crime family.
The child is then seen taking an unattended purse, clutching it, and walking out. She was charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor in theft by taking her 7-year-old daughter. Was not the one in trouble here. Police say the video also shows the large group, again 5 adults and 8 children, getting up and leaving after that purse was taken. Police say Kenya Butler told them everyone knew they weren't going to pay that restaurant bill.
Yes, I think that.
You know the worst part of this story, regardless of the arrest, because I agree with the arrest, we gotta make people accountable, is that these people got kids, and these kids are going to remember, because we act like kids don't know. They're going to remember what they see their mother and their parents doing, and all of their single baby mamas walking out on the bill, and they gonna feel like it's okay to get away with this type of stuff. And so we put this into our kids, and then we don't think that we should be held accountable for the things that they grow up and be like. But y'all want to hold men accountable, but y'all don't necessarily want to hold y'all mothers accountable. You don't want to hold your fathers accountable. You don't want to hold them accountable, but you want to blame society for your problems and your issues and your woes.
They pre-planned that he was going to give them the Cash App card, which he knew didn't have any funds on it.
Police say the case is now closed with the arrest of the brother and sister. In Noonan.
So silly. Anyways, aside from that, over in Chicago, this was a really unfortunate story. It is a third world country over there. 4 people was shot during a memorial service. A memorial service. Somebody came and sprayed up the memorial service while they was having a situation there.
Great to have you with us. We begin here at 6 with breaking news. A mass shooting in South suburban Blue Island. We have confirmed 4 people have been shot. And we have team coverage. Darius Johnson's at a hospital in Oak Lawn where most of the victims were taken. But we begin with Charlie DeMar live at the scene with late breaking information on what happened. Charlie?
And Joe, this started as a memorial service for a young girl who was recently shot and killed. So the Salvation Army here was filled with friends, family, loved ones there to memorialize.
At the Salvation Army too, though, right?
This girl, and that's when police tell us that a car pulled up outside of the Salvation Army and started shooting into that memorial. Now, I want to give you a sense of what that scene looked like. A huge police response here in Blue Island. Police also telling us that once those shots were fired, police say that a concealed carry holder who was at the memorial service returned fire at that car. In all, 4 people were shot. 2 are being treated for minor injuries. 1 is in critical condition. That 4th victim, we are still waiting for more information on their condition. Now, Chopper 2 was above an arrest. We have video of an arrest of at least 2 people. That arrest was made just about a block from the Salvation Army. Police confirmed that at least 1 person is in custody. Again, we do have video of more than 1, but police only telling us that 1 person at this time is in custody. And again, this started as a memorial for 19-year-old Princess Jemiah Bell, who was shot and killed on June 3rd. Family that we spoke to says they believe that this shooting was retaliation for her death.
There's a lot of young people, and they're upset because my granddaughter, they loved her. And then, of course, some of her friends are wanting revenge.
Y'all gonna blame this one on white people too? Y'all gonna blame this? So, mourning the death of a 19-year-old girl that wound up getting killed, and they at her memorial service. I'm trying to understand where the revenge. So, if the girl died and people are at her memorial service, who's the ones that's trying to get revenge? And why is the girl the one that died? Dog, I honestly, I can't relate no more, bro. I can't. I can't. And people keep trying to act like it's because it ain't got nothing to do with money. It ain't got nothing to do with money. It ain't got nothing to do with success. It's almost like a person that's clean, right? Like you don't have to have money to be clean. You don't have to have money to take care of yourself. And it's the same thing when it comes to your cultural norms. You don't have to be poor and ghetto.
So I guess this is all retaliation.
If it is indeed a retaliatory incident, we do not know for sure yet. But obviously, this, like I said, this area has seen too many of these, and it's always tragic and it's always sad. And to see that sadness just doubled on top of itself is terrible.
Now, we were told that 3 of the victims were transported here from the scene in Blue Island. The 4th walked themselves into Roseland Hospital. Again, at least 1 person in custody right now. We are still working out the details of how many people are in custody right now, but you saw from the chopper that arrests have been made in this shooting. We are live from Blue Island. I'm Charlie DeMar, CBS 2 News.
And last but not least, I thought that this was pretty hilarious. It's sad and it's hilarious at the same time. Society in America has degraded or downgraded itself, or the culture has become so toxic, and stealing has been proliferating, and porch pirates have been doing their thing, and people have been committing crimes so much to where the porch pirates are now battling each other for FedEx packages or Amazon packages when they get dropped off at the house. Check it out.
Now to this incredible story. Porch pirates duke it out for a box right after it's delivered, and it is caught on camera. This happened in Sinking Spring Borough, Pennsylvania, while the residents were home. The 2 men had pulled up in separate cars. One picked up a flower pot to fend off the attack. The homeowner says the box contained a phone from AT&T. He wants to know how the suspects found out it was being delivered. Officers are searching for those 2 suspects. FedEx says its top priority is making sure customers get their packages safely and securely.
Hello, I'm Mark.
The FedEx guy was dropping the package off. I don't know if y'all noticed that. Look, the FedEx guy is dropping the package off.
It's delivered, and it is caught on camera.
Somebody said, what's a porch pirate? It's a person that steals packages off of other people's porches after the delivery driver drops off the porch. So a lot of times people drive around, and I'm thankful that I've never actually had to experience this. And maybe it's just because all of our packages get locked up because we're in buildings and stuff like that, and I got security and all of that. But I've never experienced it. Even in my building, if stuff start overflowing, and let's just say, for example, people get a whole bunch of packages and they may be out of town and stuff like that, the package just sit there. Ain't nobody tripping. Ain't nobody about to touch nobody else's stuff. They don't go and look to see none of that stuff. And so you could see this looks like a pretty nice neighborhood and environment to be, to grow up in and stuff. And the FedEx driver is dropping the package off in real time. And the 2 cars are sitting. You can see the gray car, and you can see, or the silver car, and you can see the white car. And they're sitting there, and they're waiting for the FedEx driver. The FedEx driver, like, listen, I'm about to take a picture, show that I dropped this off. This is being recorded, I guess, from the Ring camera or whatever the security camera is on top of it. The people are at home. The people are at home watching this on camera as 2 cars are sitting outside of the FedEx truck. Now, I don't know if they just following the FedEx truck or what, but they sitting there waiting for the guy to drop it off. The FedEx driver is going to take a picture, and them dudes are already full sprint jumping over the bushes to try to get the package. And they fighting each other to get the package. That's crazy, bro. And you can tell that they foreign. I don't know if these guys is migrants. I don't know if these guys just don't speak English, but it sounded like they was foreign. This is crazy, bro. This is insane. Unreal. Y'all willing to risk y'all life and y'all freedom in order to go and steal something off of somebody else's porch? Ladies and gentlemen, that is your quick hits. Good God Almighty. Unreal. Let me go ahead and read some of these. I know, right? Let me read some of these super chats and then we're going to go ahead and continue on and get started with the real part of the show. Self-Made Forever says, AD, from your perspective, which type of person is morally worse? All right. Men who pay $10 to $20 to see a OnlyFans. Jesus Christ. Because, all right, let me read both options before I answer this question. I don't know if y'all just being funny. Women who pay $1,100 to take a picture with a celebrity who she wants to sleep with while she's in a relationship. Well, you got me. You got me. Let me pick one. Men who pay $10 to $20 to see an OF. I mean, where's the self-dignity and respect? Why y'all paying these chicks to see them on camera? I'm so confused about that, right? Or women that pay $1,100. Well, is the woman in a relationship? Because meet and greets have always been a thing. And so I think that Chris Brown is monetizing off of Chris Brown. Get your bag, man. I'm with Chris Brown on this one. I'm going to take Chris Breezy on this one. So it's the dudes that pay 10 to 20 bucks on F. I'm going to take the dudes that's paying 10 to 20 bucks on OF is the worst. All right. It's the worst. Oh, you said while she's in a relationship. That changes it. While she's in a relationship. You can make an argument for the money because the amounts is separate, right? It's $1,100 versus $10 to $20 a month. I'm still rolling with Chris Breezy. Get your money, Breezy. Get your money, Breezy. Get your money, Chris Brown. Get your money. Get your money, Chris Breezy. Both of them is just, I'm not rocking with either one of them, but that's a really good question. I might pose that question. 48 Laws Equal Artistic War says, I will have to catch the replay. I have a Zoom meeting with my brother. Shout out to you, big dog, and shout out to all of my replay family that's in the chat. The timestamps will be in there by the time you catch the replay, big dog. They so casual with it, though. Yeah, I know. And they up there just sitting there. And this is America. Facts. That's a fact. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get it started with the show. That's a really good question. That's a really good question. It's the money, but then it's the desire. I don't know. Great Way says, I'm in BX NYC, and I witnessed something just yesterday. A guy on a moped was mail fishing. They used their belt with something sticky to get the mail out. Ooh. They probably been doing that in their own country, and now they bringing that over here. All right, y'all. Hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. Shout out to everybody in the chat. K. Cooper, Al, Arturo Reacts, DJ Ace, Peter Investor, Yakar, Ari Reed, Blama Sonora, and all of my peoples that's out here in these streets. All right? Let's continue on with the show. All right, so first things first, I got 5 segments to break down for y'all. Let's head over to Chicago. And we're not going to go over to Chicago based off of the crime. All right, we just going to try to spend 10 minutes per segment and we're going to break this down. We're not going over to Chicago for the crime right now. I think the bigger crime, aside from the cultural issues and the wars that's happening as far as different funerals is getting shot up, is how are we using our taxpayer money? And the whole theme of this show is taxpayer money. Where are your dollars going? And this is what I want people to really pay attention to, because it's not just the people in Chicago, it's also the state of Illinois, and it's the federal government. All of our tax dollars is being used in a bad way, in my opinion. All of our tax dollars is being used negatively. But for some reason we disassociate ourselves with it and we give the federal government a pass to not be accountable for how they're using our dollars. And if somebody went to your house and they took your money out, would you be pissed? Would you be pissed if somebody went to your house and they grabbed your money? How is it any different when they can take your dollars and then they're going to determine what they're going to do with it? I'm just curious. But anyways, migrant funds is being sent to Chicago, being used in Chicago, and there had to be lawsuits that was filed before we could really uncover what was going on. This is how bad the problem is in the city.
Now to NBC5 investigates, which for months has followed the money trail tied to Chicago's migrant mission. Total spending now tops more than $400 million.
Now, despite the creation of a city spending website, it's still not exactly clear where all of that money has gone. In this follow-up report, investigative reporter Bennett Haberly uncovers some new information not shared by the city.
Consider these numbers. More than 6,000 people still live in city-run migrant shelters.
I don't know if y'all really caught how much money is being spent already, just in Chicago alone. Let me rewind it for y'all, just for the people in the back.
Of a city spending website, it's still not exactly clear where all of that money has gone. In this follow-up report,
tops more than $400 million.
Since the migrant crisis. And we don't know if they actually tracking it as effectively, because we don't know how much this costing us in police services. We don't know how much that's costing us as far as the time and the dedication is being taken away from teachers and other students. So the real cost, it can't truly be calculated. Whenever a police officer has to take away from this part of the city in order to go and respond and police what's going on in migrant services, whenever you got to dedicate other things that was initially reserved for Chicago residents and taxpayers, you can't really put a price tag on it because you can't really tackle exactly what the true cost is. But from what they can tally as far as what's actually being distributed from taxpayer dollars, $400 million in Chicago. We talking about this money like it ain't nothing, like it's $400. Almost $500 million for a city that's running a deficit is being spent on migrants, migrant housing, healthcare, so on and so forth, with no real transparency and accountability of who these companies are or who these people are that's benefiting from it. Let me say that one more time. I want you to really grasp this and take this in. $400 million has already been spent with no end in sight, with over 6,000 migrants still being housed and more coming into the city every single day, for a city that's running a deficit and that got a crime problem and can't pay their police officers and is down over 2,000 police officers that don't even own their own streets, whose alderman has voted to give themselves a raise. I seen a clip where Warren Buffett said that he could fix the deficit problem. And he said, anytime that you're running a deficit more than 3% of the GDP, then you basically hold Congress members and legislators accountable for how they spending the money by reducing how much they make in their salary. And then you would solve for people that actually is more responsible with our tax dollars. 400 million in Chicago alone. Should I stop bringing this to light and holding them accountable?
Now, despite the creation of a city spending website, it's still not exactly clear where all of that money has gone. In this follow-up report, investigative reporter Bennett Haberly uncovers some new information not shared by the city.
Consider these numbers. More than 6,000 people still live in city-run migrant shelters. That means costs are still adding up. Since August of 2022, the city of Chicago has spent more than $400 million, according to the city's spending website. Nearly $253 million went to one private company.
With these generic names, favorite healthcare staffing, $250 million has already went to favorite healthcare staffing. We don't know who the owner is. We don't know who the CEO is. We don't know nothing. I bet you that this CEO or whoever it was that's been running this company was over in Monaco during the Grand Prix, running it up with a Bugatti sitting on the back of his yacht and having some of the best cars ever. Man, we are missing out. We so focused on the small dollars. I need to be owning a favorite healthcare staffing out here in these streets.
Kansas-based Favorite Healthcare Staffing, which staffs the shelters. Another $76 million went to Equitable Social Solutions. That
LLC
company partnered with another called ReloShare, which helped identify and sign lease agreements with property owners of the buildings that eventually became the migrant shelters.
That's where a number of those leases are.
But when we asked the city months ago for copies of these lease agreements, we were given just 9 out of 27. The use of these private companies has helped mask from public view where the public dollars have flowed. What we didn't know until now is...
So we still never gonna know who really getting paid, right?
...how much the property owners of the migrant shelters were earning. But thanks to a new lawsuit, we're being provided some more clarity. A lending company filed this lawsuit last month against 2 Chicago developers, alleging they did not make it clear when they signed a loan agreement that the building...
So in order for you to really know what's going on, this is why I laugh at people when they say, you know, lawsuit money and all of this stuff, because all of that will be public information. All of it would be public information. Every lawsuit, any money that's recouped or any lawsuit that's filed has to be shown in public record and public information. So the only reason that the people that are searching for what's going on in Chicago found out what was going on in Chicago is because somebody filed a lawsuit against one of their partners. I guess they probably had a dispute, and then it started to come out into the wash as far as how the city is participating in funding and getting a lot of these guys rich.
Building in the West Loop would be used to house migrants. What is not in dispute is that the owners of the Ogden shelter are paid $150,000 a month by ReloShare as part of a use agreement. That means in a year's time, they'd receive more than $1.8 million.
Could you imagine owning a building, just a regular ran down warehouse building over in Chicago, and the city comes and says, hey man, we need to go and house these migrants. And you just throw a random number out there, $150,000 a month for you to develop and use my space to house migrants. But that's not all.
The lease agreement also calls for additional payments of up to $400,000 if the number of migrants inside the Ogden shelter exceeds 650.
So if the number of migrants inside of what this makeshift shelter is, not only are you getting $150,000 a month of taxpayer dollars, but you also get a bonus. So we want you to overflow the migrant shelter, the makeshift migrant shelter. If it's over a certain amount of people, you can get a bonus of $400,000 on top of it. Did they meet that threshold?
The latest figures show more than 700 people still live here. If they're
absolutely 100%. So somebody is just rolling in money. Listen, this is the only thing that I've ever heard of what true passive income looks like. This right here is who do you know? How do you get your foot in the door? This is the true definition of passive income. If you want to get some money, go to New York. If you want to really, really get some money, go to Chicago, go to Los Angeles, become a developer, own some buildings, and then wait for the carnage to happen so that you can really capitalize off of the incompetence of your mayors, your legislators, your governors, and then you could get a bag. It's going to be taxpayer money, but it don't matter. It all spend the same.
Public dollars involved, shouldn't the public know where they flow?
100%.
Back in March, Alderman Andre Vasquez, the chair of the City Council's Migrant Committee, told us aldermen themselves have had a hard time accounting for all the spending. That's still the question that's out there. When we attempted to ask Mayor Brandon Johnson about this at the time, he said this.
Again, we're meeting you right where you are.
Were it not for this new lawsuit, the public would have no idea how much these property owners are earning.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you.
We pressed the mayor about this last week and asked if he would consider adding the information to the city's website. He said this.
We have given an accurate account of how dollars have been spent.
That's it? Is there anything that would preclude your administration from sharing that level of detail?
There's no information that has been kept from you.
Johnson then reiterated talking points he's made before, how he's renegotiated contracts to save taxpayer money, and how Congress has failed to provide additional financial relief.
Why should we and give our money to the federal government only for Congress to give y'all money, more money, so that y'all can give it over to these companies that we don't even know who own them.
He also doubled down, incorrectly stating that all spending information is available.
That information is available to you, sir.
Not all of it, though, is, sir. I mean, that's
Can you
the point.
give me a specific example of what's not available?
The Ogden shelter in the West Loop, that's what that's spelled out in this lawsuit, that they get $150,000 just for being the property owner per month. Nowhere is that available on the city's spending website. My question, again, is simply, is there anything that would preclude you from including that level of detail? You guys have said you're transparent. Why not show it?
All of the information related to the spending to this mission is available.
So that's it. That's just the end of it. No more context. No additional understanding. No better. Who's this going to? The default answer is no. Everything is available. No. We've no context. He said, listen, they making all of this money. Who are these people? Why is it so many bonuses? What's happening? Listen. We haven't hid any information from you guys. Who is getting rich over in Chicago as a result of this migrant crisis? Per month, $150,000 plus a $400,000 bonus for exceeding the amount of people that's supposed to be there. That ain't got nothing to do with healthcare. That ain't got nothing to do with food. That don't have nothing to do with transportation. None of that. That's just that one building, and they have multiple different buildings all across the city. Who is getting rich and who is getting paid from this? Just wanted to make sure that I brought that to y'all attention. Didn't want to spend any more than 10 minutes on it. Just want to make sure y'all know that we on top of things and we gonna pay attention to what's happening out in these streets. Because there's bigger fish to fry. There's more things for us to pay attention to than just who busting who down and who getting who pregnant. It's real money that's being spent out here, and y'all the ones that's bearing the brunt of it. All right. Let me move on. I want to share something else with y'all because I want to move over to Oakland. And one thing that I also said was, thank you, A.R. Smitty. I appreciate you. A.R. Smitty says, shout out to that white man for trying. Brandon Johnson can't be broken. Oh, yeah, I want this dude on the stand for me. You know what I'm saying? I need this guy holding me down. I want to move over into Oakland, right? Because one of the things that I presented to you guys yesterday was the fact that Shang Tao, but I call her Shang Tsung, and I knew she was dirty. I told y'all that she was dirty a long time ago. I said, this shapeshifter, when I first discovered who the Oakland mayor was, and I said, we got this Asian mayor, Shang Tao, over there, and she's completely incompetent. She's making bad decisions. Businesses are leaving the city. I just could see it in her eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because they always try to squint so you can't see in their eyes a lot of times. No, you got regular eyes just like everybody else. You just got some deceit in them eyes. And I could just tell. I could see she was a shapeshifter in real life. And so I was like, no, I don't trust you. I don't trust you, not even a little bit, Shang. And that's when I started calling her Shang Tsung. So, recently she's hired a lawyer, and then we obviously have more reports on exactly who this family is and more context as to whether or not the FBI is going after her in collaboration with this other Duong family, or if it's just them, and then they trying to find out more about them through her. So this is the latest with Shang Tao over in Oakland, ladies and gentlemen.
Oakland Mayor Shang Tao releasing a statement now after a federal raid at her home. Meantime, legal experts say that agents are now going over everything removed from her house, as well as 3 other places, as they begin to unravel what could be a major crime involving Tao. Our Crown Force Teresa Stasio reports.
Front and center, all of those boxes removed from Mayor Shang Tao's home Thursday morning. An FBI spokesperson telling Crown 4 News that the raid was a court-sanctioned law enforcement action. Agents would not elaborate on what the court granted agents to seize. There were about a dozen items taken out, including several large containers. We also don't know if Mayor Tao was the target of the investigation.
This is highly unusual to see a mayor who is facing an FBI investigation.
Justin Burton is a political consultant and the former director of communications for former Mayor Libby Schaaf.
She is facing a recall, and that was going to be a steep political hill to climb. But now that you have the weight of an FBI investigation on your back and you've left Oakland in the dark for more than 24 hours, that steep political climb just became Mount Everest.
Federal agents raided 3 other places, including the home of David and Andy Duong. They, along with other family members, own and operate California Waste Solutions, the city's recycling service.
And frankly, has had a past that was well known in Oakland as being under investigation themselves.
That house is sick, too. You see that house? You see that house? That's over there in California. You know how much that house probably costs?
Was well known in Oakland as being under investigation themselves for unethical campaign violations.
We've all seen the boxes being carted out with documents, and they will sit down with him or her or the cadre of U.S. attorneys involved. So, all right, let's go through all of this.
Legal expert, former prosecutor, and current defense attorney Michael Cardoza says.
So, sister. So here's the question that we have to ask ourselves, right? Was Tiffany Henyard truly the worst mayor in America? I don't think so. I don't think so. Shout out to Niniola and Zach. I don't think so. You know why I don't think that Tiffany Henyard is the worst mayor in America? Because she's too obvious with it. Like, Tiffany Henyard is I had a dream about that chick last night. This chick popped up in my dreams. I said, what the fuck? Lil Wayne? I had a dream. Let me tell you what my dream was. I had a dream last night, and it was just for a quick second, and I went back to sleep. I woke up with cold sweats, no lie. I had a dream that Tiffany Henyard was like apologizing, like was humbling herself to me. And I was having a conversation. And I said, hey, baby girl, I told you. I was telling her, I said, I told you that you needed to just come and holler at me. I could get you out of this. And here's the worst part of the dream. Y'all not going to believe this. Listen, honest to God. Real talk. Listen, on everything, on my own life. This is what happened. I was like, listen, come holler at your boy. Come to Detroit. Come hang out. You know what I'm saying? Come sit on the black couch. We're going to kick it. And I'm going to get you reelected. I was developing her reelection campaign strategy because she had humbled herself to me. And I was like, yeah, man, listen. You can come through. Come sit on the black couch. Yeah, I'm glad that you humbled yourself. She was like, I'm sorry, Anton. I should have came and talked to you in the first place. And then I started developing her reelection. I have developed some good strategies too. I remember every strategy. And I was like, yeah, so listen, it doesn't really matter. We got to develop 2 different strategies, one for Dalton and one for Thornton Township, because Thornton Township, you know, they have a larger demographic, but they're more likely to come out and vote. So first we're going to focus on Dalton, and we're going to do a grassroots campaign because we know that most people are not going to vote. It's going to be a less than 10% voter turnout rate. So if we just calculate the amount of the population that, you know, is going to show up to the polls, and then we make sure that we do a grassroots campaign in order to really resonate with certain people, we can definitely get you reelected. Man, I had a whole strategy. I'm telling you. Man, listen, bro. Listen. If y'all need help, y'all need your election campaign and your strategy, you need a fixer, come and holler at Anton from AntonDaniels.com. Email me at AntonDaniels413@gmail.com. We gonna get you popping. It was the weirdest dream. Then I woke up and I had cold sweats. And I was like, what is going on? What is happening? But I definitely needed. My biggest concern, honestly, before I went to sleep, I was thinking to myself, how's she gonna pay for this? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna pay for this? You gotta pay for that type of stuff. If I'm gonna get you reelected, we gonna have to pay for this. Anyways, let's focus on Shang Tsung.
Now agents are going over all that was taken out.
We have suspicion that someone committed these particular crimes. Let's see if we have information here that absolutely proves it and can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. So they will vet this. So it's going to take them a bit of time.
Although the mayor has been out of the public eye, her attorney did release this statement on her behalf, saying,
"Oh, I got a lot of ideas. I came up with a lot of great ideas. I can definitely fix her. Oh, I could definitely get her reelected. All she got to do is lean it. Well, I ain't going to say that part, but I can get her reelected."
Mayor Tao is ready, willing, and able to cooperate fully with federal investigators. She has nothing to hide. It's unfortunate that she has had to endure the bad optics of having the search warrant executed on her home. She would have cooperated with this investigation without the need for this search. She will continue to do the work Oakland expects from their mayor and provide the federal government with whatever information they are seeking.
Anyways, they just politically posturing or whatever and so on and so forth. But she did hire an attorney. And so I don't know if you can take and you can say, well, her hiring an attorney is actually her showing herself to be guilty or she protecting herself. Because in her statement, according to her lawyer, she's saying that they would have cooperated regardless. But why would they give you a chance to cooperate when they need to make sure that you're not destroying documents or you're not trying to pivot around it instead of going in and hitting you with the surprise raid and going to get the documents that they think that they need in order to make sure that they indict you and they indict them, the DeWong family on top of that.
Good evening and thanks for joining us here on Cron 4 News at 10. I'm Noelle Bello. It's been more than 24 hours since the FBI raided the home of Mayor Shang Tao in Oakland. But there's still no word from the mayor herself. Instead, she's responding to the raid through her attorney, Anthony Brass. Cron 4's Charles Clifford spoke with Brass earlier today. He joins us live in Marin County with details. Charles.
Well, as you mentioned, Oakland Mayor Shang Tao has not been heard from or seen publicly since federal agents were in her home yesterday morning. But her attorney, who spoke to the media here in Marin County, says that she is willing to cooperate with whatever investigation is going on and that she has no plans to resign as mayor.
Of course she don't.
They have not informed us that she's the target of anything.
Attorney Tony Brass.
One thing about women, they do not resign. They never resign. Men get shamed. And then they be like, oh, no, I don't like it. Go ahead and get somebody that's best for the job. I've lost the people. She is not resigning. She chilling.
Who represents Oakland Mayor Shang Tao said on Friday that so far no one from the FBI, the Postal Service, or the IRS has spoken to the mayor about why they searched her home on Thursday morning. He says he has no reason to believe the mayor has done anything wrong and that she is ready to answer any questions they might have.
There's no indictment. There's no arrest warrant for her. So that's what's not happened. All there is a search warrant for a location.
The FBI has not revealed any specific details about the search, only saying in a statement that the FBI is conducting court-authorized law enforcement activity on Maiden Lane. We are unable to provide additional information at this time. But sources have told Cron 4 that the search may be related to a federal investigation into alleged campaign finance violations.
Same thing they're trying to hit Eric Adams with.
Says he has no reason to believe the mayor has violated any such rules.
I know of no reason. I know of no protocols that were not followed that call her ethics into question.
Mayor Tao has not spoken or appeared publicly since Thursday morning. Brass says that's because she is trying to stay focused on doing her job.
She has press in front of her home, which is incredibly distracting, and she has a very high-pressure job.
He also says that despite some calling on the mayor to step down, she has no intention of doing so.
She seems determined to continue to be Oakland's mayor, and there's no reason why she shouldn't at this point.
He also hopes that the public will let the legal process play out before passing judgment.
I think that her political opponents are going to, of course, exploit this. But as far as this investigation is concerned, just wait and see.
Why would anybody ever want to, and again, I say this all the time, why would anybody ever want to become a mayor? I think that becoming a mayor, not a city councilman, not a governor, not a president, not none of that. I think that becoming a mayor, certainly not a congressman. If you become a congressman, it's like you a made man. It's like you in a mafia. I think that becoming a mayor is probably the worst political job that you can ever get. Easily. Only people that go down, the only people that suffer, it always comes back down to the mayors. That's it. I've seen a couple city councilmen here and there, not a whole lot of governors, aside from, what you see happening with Trump as far as the political prosecution or the persecution that's going on with him. You don't really see senators, state representatives, Congress members. They just get rich. They have a lifetime job. They don't even have no term limits over there in Congress. They just get rich forever. They stay in power, no matter how incompetent they are, no matter how bad they are at their job, don't matter if they could do it like that. Black, white, Latino, if you wind up getting into Congress, you are a made man or woman. The mayors is the ones that suffer the most. And that's why they say, well, who's the worst mayor in America? They don't say who the worst governor. They don't say who's the worst. Gavin Newsom is just chilling. Gavin Newsom told y'all to stay 6 feet apart and wear masks, and then he threw a party right after that. And nobody tripped. Everybody just forgot about it. I would never want to become a mayor. Why would I ever want to do that? That's the craziest job that you can ever have. Anyways, neither here nor there. Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats. What up, Antonio and the Bag Chasers from the UK? Shout out to my UK partners out there in these streets. I appreciate y'all. Zach is in the building, says all these diversity, equity, and inclusion mayors are getting raided. I don't know how to stay. Get low. Miss T. Jones. What up, Miss T. Jones? Says, the more I watch you, the more that I learn. Shout out to you. Salute. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Charles Blanco says, happy Saturday. It's always great to watch the show live. And that's a nightmare, not a dream. Well, now, based off of what I was charging for political consultation, that was absolutely a dream. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Charles? Spaces says, Tiff says, a milli. Shout out to my dog Stasis. Spaces. Delta Fox says, had an ex appear today. Like a bat out of hell after 2 years. She must be in the bind. I call them the ghosts of Puss Pass. Y'all better be careful out in these streets. All right, y'all. Let's kick it into overdrive. So first, we're going to deal with what's going on over in Los Angeles and California. We're going to give that a 10-minute hit, and then we're going to deal with a couple reaction videos. One man saying that he loves working 2 jobs. Another man saying that he's being discriminated against based off of weight. Anyways, let's pivot and let's get to it. So the first thing is we got to address what's going on over in LA. So recently a man said that he got robbed of his Rolex. They tried to take his old school car, and they over there robbing trains. Take a look.
It happened on Thursday night right before 5 o'clock, so there were plenty of witnesses. Oh! A robbery in progress.
Is that a Cobra?
Right in the middle of Wilshire Boulevard.
That looked like a Cobra. That car is beautiful. Oh!
A robbery in progress right in the middle of Wilshire Boulevard near.
Those must have been some of the people that attended the Kendrick Lamar concert. Nah, don't worry about it.
Willamette Drive in Beverly Hills.
The suspects approached the victim and presented a firearm and demanded his Rolex watch.
The victim had been waiting for a tow truck to load his specialty car when the men jumped out of their vehicle with a gun.
It just so happened to be that a City of Beverly Hills employee, one of our traffic control officers, was arriving on scene of that tow and saw the crime in progress and immediately got on the police radio to our communications center.
High tech.
How do y'all just rob people in broad daylight and don't have no fear whatsoever? How do y'all rob people in broad daylight and have at 5 o'clock? This is the middle of rush hour, meaning that traffic ain't even done yet. In the middle of rush hour with a guy that got a specialty car and you get out to rob him of his Rolex. This is an American city. This is not even a third world country. This is an American city that people are robbing people of their stuff in the daytime and ain't even tripping. I bet you that they rolled by him. Seen him, and was like, hey, man, let me go and get let me tie this thing over my face. We're going to double back, and we're going to go ahead and rob Big Homie of his stuff.
Beverly Hills PD has a real-time watch center where virtual officers monitor their citywide camera system.
They immediately accessed the cameras to the area in which the crime, and they were able to identify the suspect vehicle driving away.
A short pursuit ensued, and eventually all 5 suspects from Oakland, California were arrested.
What? You know what? That's a twist. I never, ever expected for them to ever say that they actually arrested the perpetrators. Let me give a round of applause for the Los Angeles Police Department. Round of applause for the Los Angeles Police Department for actually arresting the perps and the suspects.
Minors and
that'll never happen in Chicago.
3 adults, one very much living up to his name, Gangster Lawson.
Great.
Only in LA.
Police work. Excellent, yes.
Now, the suspects are facing 3 charges: robbery, assault with a firearm, and conspiracy.
Hey, you see how scared she was? Look at her.
Great police work. Excellent, yes.
Now, the suspects are facing 3 charges: robbery, assault with a firearm, and conspiracy. The victim was too shaken up to do an interview, but he did say, quote, "This will continue to happen until the punishment fits the crime." Alex, Christine, I'll send it back to you.
She was getting yelled at while she was reporting on a crime on the street, and she was looking up like, yeah, okay, all right. But then over in another part of California, they was over there robbing. I don't even know why they put FedEx on the containers. They over there robbing the containers still on a regular basis. Y'all putting literally billions of dollars into social services and luxury homeless camps, but you can't protect the containers, the shipping containers that's running through LA. You can't get more police officers out there. You can't actually change the laws that ultimately fixes a lot of these criminals and the criminal behavior that's happening over in y'all city and y'all state.
Your spanking new office printer might be delayed a few days in transit if it was parked on a FedEx rail car that was parked here Friday morning near Union Avenue. That rail car, the entire train, sat on those tracks long enough for opportunistic rail car raiders to carry off as many packages as their arms would hold. This was the scene early Friday on the tracks near Union, north of California Avenue. Perhaps a half dozen people helped themselves in broad daylight to large packages from the back of the rail car. We don't know how they gained access to the rail car, for how long, or what was taken. We don't know if more than one rail car was compromised. But we do know the alleged thieves took off in all directions, including this man on an adolescent-sized bicycle who seems to have noticed he was being tailed by our freelance cameraman. After a slow-speed chase that took him through a McDonald's parking lot, the man discarded the package he had taken. Perhaps he intended to come back for it later. This kind of thing is all too common in California, where 54% of rail, highway, and warehouse cargo theft was reported in 2023. That's well ahead of second place Texas, which had 16% of the total. Here you can see the concentration of cargo theft cases on the West Coast, concentrated in the Central Valley and exploding into the Los Angeles basin. 20%.
Let me look at this area. 2 of the red markers is in Los Angeles. 1 of them is in San Francisco. Looks like Houston is right there. I don't think that that's Atlanta. Washington, New York. All of these are in liberal states and in liberal areas. Every last one, well, not a liberal state, but liberal areas, because Dallas, Houston is not necessarily a liberal state. Texas is a conservative state, but Houston is a liberal area. All of these places seem to be in pretty much liberal areas where they got all of the lax laws, and I guess that they just expect for the criminals to not do the wrong thing.
Of all cargo theft involves electronics, which appears to be the case here. Overall cargo theft is on the rise, too. In 2023, shippers in the U.S. and Canada reported 1,183 cases of cargo thefts, averaging a loss of $587,000 each, for a total of $694 million, according to the risk management company Overhaul Risk Advisory Services. That is a 67% increase over the 2022 average of 351,000, and Overhaul expects that volume to increase another 35% this year.
So basically, they're going to be taking over $1 billion in cargo because they expect for it to increase at least another third this year. It rose by 2/3 last year over the year before. And so basically, long term, we expecting for there to be at least $1 billion in cargo being stolen from these containers that's being shipped across the United States of America, and we can't do nothing about it. 54% of all cargo that's stolen in the United States of America comes outside or out of California. 54%. And we can't do anything about it. We can't trip about it. We can't complain about it. We can't hold nobody accountable. I've seen pictures of different articles that's been sent to me where it basically shows and it highlights how it's just cargo containers that all of the boxes is just thrown everywhere. It ain't even they not trying to hide it. Seriously, you can literally just go and look it up. It's all over here. And you could see just the containers just strewn all over the place. And it's all on social media. Like if you go down that dark path on social media, you can see here, I'll share it with you. This is what it be looking like. Like they go in there, they take their time, they throw the boxes everywhere. They're not trying to be discreet about it. They're going to come in, they're going to steal their stuff. They're going to go through to make sure that they get the right type of cargo because they're not, listen, it's different than porch pirates. Porch pirates, they just going to take the risk. They're going to take it home. They don't know if it's going to be a tracker on it or something like that. And then they just going to figure out whether or not they got to hit the jackpot or not. They take their time over there in California and Los Angeles. They just go through. And they go through each and every individual package and individual container. They're not worried about no police. They're not worried about getting stopped. They're not worried about crime. They're not even worried about getting no big sentences if they wind up getting caught in the first place. So they just go out there and they just throw it all over the place and it's just trash everywhere. And the United States of America, especially California, is basically becoming a third world country. These are the type of pictures that I was seeing in the articles that I was seeing on a regular basis. Sometimes I hate some of the stuff that I see coming out of this country, bro. It's bad. It's just so bad. And it's sad that this is the stuff that we got to deal with.
Most of those losses are, of course, of a significant nature. Heists of entire truckloads, hijacking and deceptive pickups among them. But incidents like this, broadly known as pilfering, represent more than a third of all cargo theft. Who cares? Literally, in this case, who cares? BNSF Railroad did not return our calls by airtime, and Bakersfield police had no information on the incident.
The big question is, who pays? Well, in the long run, most likely insurance companies, which means you and I.
Because they just going to raise rates, they're going to pass the cost over into the consumers, and then they're going to pull out of California, or they're going to pull out, and then they're going to force them to get insured by somebody else in order for you to be able to get your packages, which then raises the cost of goods and services. So eventually it all gets passed on to you. The insurance company's not going to lose. The railroad company's not going to lose. The manufacturers is not going to lose. You're going to lose. Anyways, let me move on with the show because we got a couple more things that I want to go over. This one I actually was looking forward to. I haven't actually watched the video yet, but I definitely wanted to react to it because we see so much nonsense, and I don't really see y'all sending me stuff of people that got a different disposition or people that got a positive disposition. And so I wanted to go through and review this because y'all actually sent this to me. And it's of a guy, and his name is Keep Going. He only has 744 subscribers. So we definitely want to support the content creators. His name is Keep Going. 744 subscribers as of the recording of this video. And his sentiment is that he has 2 jobs and he loves it, which is really not surprising considering the what he looked like. But let's review the video and see what's happening.
Really, I do not love working 2 jobs. You guys should already know that. You guys probably, if you work 2 jobs, you probably don't love it, man. But look, you're doing it, I'm doing it, because you know what? We got to. Because the way shit is, you have to really think about it, bro. There's probably like, not even probably, there's a million ways to get up out this race, you know what I'm saying? But this just happens to be my process right now. This just happens to be what I'm going through right now, bro. I'm out here on fucking Amazon, bro. The worst thing you can do, especially right now when it's like super hot like this. But look, the thing that, like, you gotta understand this, man. Right today, like, I'm not fucking with this shit at all today, bro. It's mad hot. I got my freaking, I had to take my shirt off and put it on my head because I was getting burned up. But look, you gotta remember why you're doing this. Because, like, bro, I could easily just quit this shit and just work my single job. But that is not cutting it, bro. It's not. And I can do this and do this. There's so many things I can still do and will try to venture off into doing. But right now, this is just what I got to do. And if you thug it out for a bit, man, and you really think about what the reasoning or what your reasons behind working 2 jobs, 3, 4, 5, however many, or not going out to fucking party and not saving your money and all this bullshit, right? You gotta just remind yourself of what you're doing it for, because then that will keep you going, bro. Because trust me, days like this are always gonna be there, especially when you barely get any days off, man. But that's part of the fucking race, man.
Why does he have such a positive disposition, but everybody else that we always get, they always got this negative perspective about life? I mean, he's sharing the same sentiment as a lot of people as far as the conditions. He's not doing no other job any different than anybody else. But he got a positive outlook on it, and he like, listen, man, I love this. Like, look, I got my eye on the prize. I got a goal. I'm not going out. I'm not about to go and party. I know that everybody else get days off, or they always complaining about working more than 40 hours. They want to talk about work-life balance. But yo, listen, it is hot. It is one of the most difficult days to do deliveries. I got 2 jobs, but I'm motivated because I got a goal that I want to accomplish. And it's a way that I can work myself out of this situation. It's not that, things are all bad. It's that the opportunities, I just got to take advantage of it. So you telling me that this guy, who y'all said that he Hispanic, okay, cool, he Hispanic. He got a different perspective on life. He's smiling, he excited. I can see his van is empty or almost empty, so it looked like he did most of his deliveries. He hustling, and he not complaining about it, and he looking at it as an opportunity. This is the type of mentality that takes you far. Because it all starts up here, and then it translates into your actions. You can see it in people's body language. You can see it in how it is that they look at stuff. When I get to work, honestly, I start getting excited because I know that the results is gonna come. When I start working, when I start grinding, it's nothing that I'm looking forward to more than getting in my studio. My studio is my sanctuary. It's like my church. Cause I know that I can just create unlimited stuff. Look, if we wasn't required to sleep, if God didn't make our bodies to where we had to sleep in order to recover, people would be in trouble. If we only needed 3 hours of sleep instead of needing 6 to 7 or 8 hours of sleep in order to, function regularly, people would be in trouble. I'm telling you. Because where everybody else would still be trying to sleep 8 hours, I would sleep the minimum that I needed in order to operate at the highest capacity, and I would grind and go and get that stuff. I get so excited when it's time to grind because I know that it's a huge bag that's waiting for me on the other side of that hustle. And he just got a completely different perspective on success and life and opportunity. Like, man, listen, I'm down to work 2 jobs. Hey, again, his name is Keep Going. Shout out to you. Let's keep going.
It's part of it. Nothing you can do about it. But then this will also help you realize, man, I'm working my ass off. Why the fuck am I gonna spend it on some bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Because you do not want to be doing this shit until you're like 50. So do it now while you're young and you're capable of doing it. But be smart with your money, bruh. And by that, I really mean, like, look, honestly, there's so many different fucking situations, bruh.
Some people need to do it out of necessity. Others do it out of motivation. Others do it of ambition. Motivation, ambition, same thing, really. But whatever the fucking reason for you, man.
Yeah, he do curse a lot, but we gotta overlook that. We gotta overlook it because he got such a positive mindset towards what success is. Listen, we can fix the cursing. We can't fix work ethic though.
Remember why you're doing it, bro. And if it's out of straight necessity, and you still paycheck to paycheck off of 2 jobs, bro, then you is really on the fucking grind, and you is really on the struggle. And you could easily just be like, fuck, man, I'm in a bad position. Like, and guess what? You is, bro. You is. And all you can do is, bro, like, just figure some shit out, bro. It's not
Most of us don't even have an earning problem. We got a spending problem.
gonna come easy. It's not gonna be, really not gonna be easy, man. But you just gotta sit back and really evaluate everything and see what you can do, man. But look, working these 2 jobs, man. Don't be spending your money on some bullshit. Lock in, try to make some shit, try to make your money work for you. And when there's so many different ways, so many different this and so many different that, I'm not here to tell you what you need to do exactly, because I still really don't know. But the thing I know is 1 job is not going to cut it. So I'm here on the 2nd one, and I'm about to start a 3rd. And
he said I'm about to get a 3rd. Hey, dude said 1 job is not gonna cut it. I think 1 job will cut it if you're just looking to be a normal, regular, everyday person, and you want to, you're not really looking forward to any great things. I like stuff, man. I like the fastest cars. I like the. Now, I don't like to be restricted. When I go on Airbnb, if I go into a particular place or I go to a certain city and I decide that I want to stay at a hotel or Airbnb, I don't look at the price. I don't want to look at the price. If I go and book a flight, I'm gonna book the best. I'm gonna go 2A, 2B, 2A, 2B. My daughter gonna be right there too, so it may be 2A, 2B, 2C. Cause I want to be the first one to get on the plane and get off the plane. When you go to the restaurant, it feels different when you ain't got to check the prices when you go to the restaurant. When you just get whatever it is that you want. I don't even remember how much I paid for this trip. On everything. I have no clue how I pay for it. But it comes when you make the sacrifice early, you stay down long enough, you make the informed decision on how you're going to invest your money, and then long term you benefit from it. It's a really simple equation of what success looks like.
and I'm about to be on some like, and I just fucking, you know what I'm saying, bruh? And like, yes, I'm tired. Shit like days like this suck. I really just want to walk out this bit and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care, bruh. But then I remember why I'm doing it, who I'm doing it for, and it gives me enough to get through the day. And like, it sounds so like, oh my god, bro. No, bro, it sucks, but guess what? You gotta just do it regardless. You know what
Everybody
I'm saying?
hustle. Everybody
Bro, there's people out here working even more bullshit for even less. And it's not here to be like compared like, oh, they have it bad, so why are you complaining? Bro, you don't even gotta really look at other people's situation, bro. Just look at your own. Is this where you wanna be? If it's not, then you gotta do what you gotta do to get out of it. And if it's working 2 jobs right now, 3, 4, if it's doing this and doing that, then that's what you gotta do, man. But there's always a smarter way and there's always better ways. But that, sometimes you just need capital, knowledge, experience, different things.
He is 100% right. See, you can't teach work ethic. That's the thing that you can't put into people. You can give them all of the knowledge in the world. You can give them the insight. You can give them the understanding. Shout out to Brock. I'm going to read that super chat shortly. You can give them all of the tools, but they're not going to do nothing with it. A lot of times, I tell people what I'm going to do before I even do it. Oh, man, I'm working on this new show. Or, oh, man, I'm about to start this. Or I'll even throw out an idea just talking. And I said, man, that would be sweet to continue to do this and to do that. Oh, man, this is where the money is. Or blah, 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 so on and so forth. And you know what? It don't even matter. I know you're not going to do with it anyway. You're not going to do nothing. Yeah, man, and this is how I make money, and I show you all the receipts, and this is how we do our content creation, and this is how I built the house, and this. So I remove all of the excuses. You don't even have to read a book. All you got to do is watch the video and then become a part of the chasers and level up and use the information in order to win. See, you could take a person like this. I'll take a person like this over talent any day. Not saying they're not talented, but I'll take a person like this because I can teach you you know what I'm saying, all of the little things and the jewels and how to make the modifications and how to look at stuff and how to implement it and the knowledge. The knowledge part is all the thing that's going to wind up getting you over the hump. But you can't teach work ethic, man. You can't teach effort.
So if right now that's not the path, like for me it isn't, thug it out like this for a while. Build up that capital, build up whatever you need, and then venture off into that next lane. And then just keep it going, bro. Keep it going. Look, it sucks. It's hard. But you gotta love it, bro. And clearly you don't love it, but honestly, you love the destination. And not really the destination.
It's the process.
Like your goals, bro. Your goals. You love the thought of that. Because right now it's a thought. But the more and more you do your shit, the more and more real it gets. Until eventually, you're not fucking whipping a fucking Amazon-y fucking van truck, bro. You're whipping the Porch white. You know what I'm saying? And I just...
You know, I can resonate with that. Shout out to the little homie. I appreciate it. And make sure y'all go and check out his channel again. I always like to give love to the content creators. It's called Keep Going. It's all mindset, and then it translates into your work ethic. Brock, I'm going to read a couple of super chats. And then I want to get to the last part of the show. So we're going to go to the other side of the spectrum, all right? The complainers. And I'm going to revisit another content creator that I reviewed. Y'all send me these update videos. I think that it's pretty funny what I see a lot of these people talking about because it shows that it's a difference, all right? Brock says, past love offering, just tapping in and showing love. I'm always watching in the background, never MIA, and I love the Millionaire Morning Show too much. Shout out to my dog, Brock. You know I know you rocking with me, bro. High Tolerance says, Hispanics and foreigners will work the jobs. Most people refuse. Work hard so you can play hard. Delayed gratification is non-existent. You do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do. So, a lot of y'all may remember this guy, all right? Oh, man. This guy, for those of y'all that remember, and y'all was tuned into this live stream, this guy, I was kind of laughing at his cover photos because the cover photos was pretty funny. And I remember him because I did a review video that y'all had sent me where he was basically complaining about the idea that he had got complacent. He had worked at a place for so many years. He knew that it had been rounds of layoffs that had been happening over all of these years. And then he was basically complaining about the fact that he got laid off and that he couldn't find a job, right? So he wasn't proactive. He didn't take care of business. But now he's saying that he's complaining that he's not getting the jobs that he wants because he's older and he's a little bit more heavy set. Okay. He's older and he's a little bit more heavy set. All right. So, again, I like to give credit to the content creators. His name is the Fading Man. Yo, this guy is so negative that it's even in his name. His name is called the Fading Man. And you are what you attract. You know how us at the Bag Chasers, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon, link is in the description. You know how us and the Bag Chasers, that when we show up to something, oh man, get it, let's take care of business, we push each other. I'm assuming that this guy probably attracts a demographic of people that's probably on the other end of the spectrum that's negative. Because all of his titles is, I'm too fat, I'm too big, I'm too old, I'm too bald, I'm too complacent, I'm too to the two. Meanwhile, the other guy that's Hispanic, and this is why, again, I keep telling y'all, stop comparing yourselves based off of identity politics and the color of your skin and all of that stuff, because it's going to be people on a different end of the spectrum, regardless of where you at, right? So this guy is a white man, for example, and he's supposed to be winning, right? Because it's all white people. But he's sitting here complaining about the fact that he ain't got no money, he jobless, he older, and he ain't putting no effort. And now he's saying that he feel like he too fat to be able to get a job, okay? Apparently, I don't know. We're going to review it. We're going to watch it, take care of it. Again, always like to give a shout out to the content creators. Make sure y'all check out their channel. If y'all like their content, go and subscribe. His name is called The Fade Man. Let's get to it, y'all.
Folks, so I've been posting videos about being laid off and trying to find a job and not being able to get a job. And I can't tell you how many comments I've gotten about my weight on my videos. And I swear I must have the opposite of anorexia. I believe that I look better than I do.
Let's continue.
Because you guys keep reminding me how heavy I am, and that's probably one of the reasons why I'm not getting a job. Well, I'm 6 foot tall and I weigh 350 pounds.
Y'all just so proud of yourselves. Y'all so proud of y'all. Y'all are so proud of yourselves. And how bad y'all out here being. This dude is basically Shaq. He's heavier than Shaq. Jesus Christ. Y'all just so proud of yourself. Y'all like, and listen, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for the content because we can definitely use this in order to have conversations about. But y'all just feel so comfortable just talking about how bad y'all out here doing and stuff. Y'all don't be feeling shame like, oh, I gotta get myself together. I gotta go get on the grind. Let's hustle. And listen, I'm not saying that you got to be perfect, but I am saying that you got to be putting in effort and grinding and hustling, even if you're not talking about it behind the scenes. I would imagine that you've identified stuff about yourself that you can control and that you're working on. You just, oh, I'm 350 pounds. What? I look better than I ever looked. I'm 350 pounds. What? What are you talking about? Anyways, and then people are getting on him because they see him complaining and they say, listen, man, you got to lose weight. And when people say you got to lose weight or when people is telling them this stuff, I don't think it's just because of the employer. I think, when you progress in your life, whether you getting more money, whether you losing weight, whether you becoming, you getting the stuff that you want, you get more confidence. You see what I'm saying? You become a lot more confident about who you are. And so a lot of times it's not just okay, well, the employer won't hire you because they're weight discriminating. They can tell all over you that you're not a good productive employee. And so it may be because, oh, okay, well, he don't fit the description or what we want over here in our culture. So it's not just weight discrimination. It's also the fact that, let me listen to the video. I'm gonna listen to the video first.
30 years ago, I was 6 foot tall and weighed 185 pounds. So working all these years behind a desk has, not been good for me. I've just gained weight steadily over the years. And one of the reasons why is because people were always bringing in donuts.
So wait a minute, dog. Hold on. Because listen, regardless of what your lot is in life and regardless of what you do or what your financial situation is, you're not going to sit here and tell me that they forced some donuts into your mouth. Or they forced you when you got off of work from doing your 8-hour shift of not going to the gym and instead going to sit on the couch and being a couch potato. Come on, man. Come on, man. This is modern woman activity. This is single baby mama activity. They force the donuts into your mouth, and it's their fault for continuing to bring donuts into the office. Come on, bro. Oh man, come on, dog.
I'm setting them right in front of my desk, it seems, or candy. And, it's just really easy to gain weight when you're working a sedentary job. And the truth be known is I never knew that weight discrimination in the workplace or in the hiring process ever existed.
That's
and
like,
I guess
hold
the
on.
reason why
I'm gonna let this play. I'm gonna let him play out. I'm gonna let him rock out for a while. But that's like saying weight discrimination when it comes to dating. People got preferences. I'm okay. Listen, I'm okay if people say, listen, I don't want to hire you because you a smoker. Or I don't want to hire you because you could cause problems when it comes to our insurance bills or whatever it is. Like, come on, man. You got to get out of the victim Olympics and you got to grind, bro.
is because I've always worked around a lot of fat people.
I'm sorry. I just got to stop. I'm going to let the video play. Oh my God. This is so stupid. What are we doing? This is a 55-year-old man that has not taken responsibility for his life.
I've always been a paper pusher. I've always worked behind a desk. I've always, most of the people that I worked with were overweight, so it never occurred to me that weight discrimination was ever an issue. So anyhow, I want to show you just a few of the many comments I've gotten about my weight. This one says, get in shape and everything will fall into place, and stop eating, go to the gym. Apparently, they think that that is the reason why I'm not getting hired. Well, some people are just trying to be helpful, like this person who writes, Sir, I know from experience that HR people living in their power bubble will look for any excuse to avoid hiring you. They'll look at an overweight man and think, if he's not even disciplined enough to avoid overeating, why should I believe that he would be disciplined enough to do a good job for our company? Please avoid the processed sugars and go for a run every day until you're hired.
I believe in shaming. I believe in shaming. I know a lot of y'all only want to be positive the whole time, but you just got to tell people the truth sometimes. Honest to God.
So this person writes, what you can do is lose weight. It is the best way to become healthy. Also, it would improve your appearance. Whenever you feel good and look well, you become more attractive. You want to attract people to you. Your attractiveness is important in your personal and professional life and because of your age. Look, you have to be 3 times better than someone who is much younger than you are. Become a savage. It is your responsibility to take control of your life. Find YouTube videos for workout beginners who can start exercising in their home and taking walks outdoors every day.
Hey, these people is being real. These people is really holding them down and being real with them. I can respect that.
Change your diet. There are videos for that as well. You have to put in the work instead of whining about life not going as planned. It should be expected that life is not always going to go as planned. What is important is how you respond to it.
That's some real junk.
Well, apparently this person thinks that I'm not getting hired because of my weight, because that's what the whole comment was about.
He literally missed the whole point. He missed the entire point of what the person was trying to tell him. He missed the entire point. And see, this is the mentality, and this is why I be so frustrated with people when I talk about black culture or money or relationships or all of this stuff. And I say, hey man, listen, we got to stop making excuses, take accountability, fix your neighborhood, take control of your kids, get some self-control, go get your bag up, get more discipline when it comes to the things that you buy, and you nickel and diming your money everywhere. It's no, it's the system that's set up against me. Or, oh man, it's always her fault. Every single time it's always her fault. And I'm like, it ain't never your fault. It's all the women that you haven't talked to in your entire life. And so this is the same mentality. They miss the message. And you can give them all of the encouragement. You can say everything that you want to say to them. But I think that sometimes people just need to fail in order for them to go through it. Either you're going to sink or swim. Even animals know, listen, the birds, they're going to drop their little birdies. They're going to be off. If you don't fly, then that's just the end of it. At some point, you're going to have to get out there and hunt on your own. It's going to be a rite of passage. The weaklings falter and they become food for the strong, or you're going to get out there and you're going to survive and you're going to thrive. And so he missed the whole message, no matter how positive the person was that was telling him. He missed the whole message and what it takes in order to be successful.
So the comment sections on my videos are filled with comments like these. So after reading your comments, I wanted to find out if weight discrimination was really a real thing in the workplace. And so I did a little research. So what I found is obese people are discriminated against during the hiring process and at the workplace. And the reason why is because there are a lot of stereotypes about obese people.
It's not a stereotype.
Such as obese people are lazy, they lack self-discipline, they're unconscientious, they're unmotivated, they're just going to get sick and start calling off all the time. Obese people are less likely to be regarded as leaders. They're less likely to be promoted.
Correct.
Obese women are less likely to get customer-facing positions.
Correct.
And I found one study that showed that 45% of employers say that they are actually less likely to recruit obese people.
So where is the stereotype and where is the truth part? Because I don't hear anything that's a stereotype. I hear everything to be real. That's a real thing.
And also, obese people are a lot more likely to experience bullying at work. And the heavier you are, the worse the bullying. The next thing I wanted to find out is weight discrimination legal in the United States?
Weight discrimination.
So what I found is weight discrimination is legal in the United States. There are no federal laws prohibiting it. However, there are a couple places such as Michigan and some cities like Urbana and San Francisco that do prohibit weight discrimination. However, if you can prove that being skinny is necessary to do the job, you can be exempt from those laws. And I also found that because there are no federal laws against weight discrimination, there have been some places who've tried to tie it into disability laws, but judges are really hesitant to do that, partly because they see obesity as being a choice. So that's not working either. So after reading your comments and doing my own research, I tried to think back to see if there was ever a time when I knew that I was being discriminated against because of my weight. And there was one time when I do feel that I was discriminated against because of my weight. And it was when I applied for a job as a line cook at a restaurant.
Listen, you know that the world is messed up when you have white men that are 6 feet tall claiming discrimination based off of their weight. No. Listen. I seen a video that I haven't done a review yet, but I'm still thinking about it. I seen a video where Disney has become so woke to where Disney basically, they got Disney insiders, HR, vice presidents, and all of that basically say that they are not looking to hire white men. They are not looking to hire white men because they became so woke. So just based off of the color of the skin, it's a reverse discrimination against the color. That's something you can't control. This is different. We have a 6-foot white man that is telling us that he's being discriminated against because he can't have any self-control when it comes to what he's putting in his mouth, and he weighs over 350 pounds. You cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. No way, no how. At all. Listen, I've seen a lot of things, but I've never ever seen a 6-foot white man say he's being discriminated against based off of the fact that he's heavy. Maybe he should go and apply to be a trainer too, and maybe we should hire him for that. And then he could feel like he's being discriminated against based off of his weight. Or did you meet the criteria of the job, sir? Jesus Christ.
So I applied for a job as a line cook at this nice restaurant, and I applied for it because it was just going to be a filler job for me.
Y'all said it's racism, or maybe it's waistism. Is this weightism? Oh, this is weightism. Oh my God, this is so dumb. I expect for that word to become a thing too in the future.
I was going to take it until I got something better. Also, the job paid pretty well, and they didn't require any experience. The job description said that they would train you. So I get a call for an interview, and I'm thinking, oh, great, I'm going to get this job. And when I get to the interview, they set me down at a table and tell me to wait for the manager. So 15 minutes later, the manager finally arrives, and the interview begins. And he asked me general questions, and I answer his questions fine, and we seem to be getting along. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to get this job, and I wanted the job at the time, so I was happy about that. But the manager, during the interview, asked me to get up and to come with him to the back of the kitchen. And when I got up, he kind of looked me over and saw my belly.
Except he not gonna be eating all of the waffles. No, sir. You're not. This is not an all-you-can-eat bacon place. Maybe it was at Wendy's. Maybe they made Baconators. I don't know, bro. He said he looked him over and he seen his belly. Bro, why is your belly? Anyways, that's crazy, man. That is really crazy.
And said, "Are you going to be able to stand on your feet all day?" And I said, "Yeah." But when he said that, I kind of knew that I wasn't going to get this job. And how I know that this is weight discrimination is because he showed me the two other line cooks in the restaurant, and they were obviously over the age of 50. and both of them were skinny. So I know that I was being discriminated against because of my weight and not age. So I sort of forgot about this incident because it was just a filler job and it really never made an impact in my life. And it was early in my job search, so I thought that I was going to get another job easily. I just sort of blew off the incident as this guy is just a jerk. So in conclusion, it's very
So he the jerk. Okay.
known that weight discrimination does occur all the time in the United States. However, there are no federal laws against it, and there are very few protections against it. And yes, I have experienced weight discrimination before. So if you like this video, please give it a like.
Hey, y'all go ahead and show the fading man some love, man. I like to shout out the content creators and show love to the content creators. This is insane, bro. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is your show for the day. I told y'all we're not gonna do a whole 2 hours. I just wanted to tap in with y'all and kick it with y'all, bro. You said the NBA did a height discrimination against you. Jesus. Shout out to Dion Sardine says by saying he thought his weight was normal, he was throwing his coworkers under the bus. These people is insane, bro. I want to give a shout out to my guy Mike That Dude also on Cash App. Shout out to my dog Mike That Dude. Also, High Tolerance says we need to go back to shaming. Appearance is irrelevant in most customer service professions. You can be a flight attendant but look like you work at 7-Eleven. Standards have gone out the window. I agree, man. Listen, you may not necessarily get there overnight. It may take you some time, but you got to put the effort in and you got to grind. Let me say that again. You may not get the results immediately. It may take you some time, but you got to put your time in and you got to grind. You got to hustle. It don't matter whether you're talking about money. It don't matter whether you're talking about fitness. It don't matter whether you're talking about relationships. You have to grind on yourself. And it's not always everybody else's fault why you're not what you're supposed to be. All right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Next live stream, we do not have an after hours live stream tonight. We do not have a Anton Daniels live stream, but I do have a brand new show coming next week. And so we back at it Monday for the Millionaire Morning Show. Y'all enjoy y'all Saturday, enjoy y'all Sunday, enjoy y'all family. Get that bag, don't fumble it, and don't make no excuses as to why you're not what you're supposed to be. All right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.